This Sunday, fifth Sunday. Hey, hello everybody. We're looking out for the fifth Sunday of Easter, this coming Sunday, which is the last Sunday in April. That makes it April 28th already. Wow. It's almost a month ago we had Easter. Our reading is from John chapter 15. Jesus said to his disciples, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine grower. He takes away every branch in me that does not bear fruit. And every one that does, he prunes, so that bears more fruit. You are already pruned because of the word that I spoke to you. Remain in me as I remain in you. Just as a branch cannot bear fruit on its own unless it remains on the vine, so neither can you unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever remains in me and I in him will bear much fruit, because without me you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me will be thrown out like a branch and wither. People will gather them and throw them into a fire, and they will be burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask for whatever you want, and it will be done for you. By this my Father glorify, that you bear much fruit and become my disciples. There's a lot going on here, and even as I read it, my mind just races with all the different thoughts and images. And just like this, it just seemed the last verse, my Father's glorified that you bear much fruit. And so a question I ask myself, I ask you, are you bearing fruit? Or is it simply your faithfulness to Christ, or your commitment to Christ is perhaps attending church on the weekend? Hopefully every weekend, but maybe not even that much. And you think that's what Christ is talking about? Just your physical attendance sitting in a church. No, bear fruit. I think you know what bear fruit means. Fruit we enjoy. Fruit is something, we grow and develop and, nourishes. And fills it with the heart with joy. You're thirsty, any kind of fruit, and finding to fresh fruit. So we as Christians must bear fruit. But it's not just be Christians in word, but in deed, and that's what our life should be about. That I am doing good things. I'm out to serve others. I got to bear fruit because I don't want to go there. Right? Because what happens if you don't bear fruit? What happens? Did he say? Any fruit that does not will be pruned, be cut away, and they'll be burned. Because what I found to see that the wood, the point, Jesus calls himself, he's the true vine. True, real, genuine, that is. It's curious that the fact that the symbol of the vine is never used in the Old Testament apart from the idea of degeneration. The point of Israel's picture is that the vineyard has run wild. Jeremiah complains that the nation has turned to a degenerate and become a wild vine. It is as if Jesus said, you think that because you belong to a nation of Israel, you are a branch of the true vine of God. But that nation, it is a degenerate vine, as all your prophets saw. I think something could be said about us. Do you think just because you've been baptized, you go to a church, that you are the true vine? Not at all. The fact that you were a Jew will not save you. The fact that you perhaps simply show up physically and not make commitment, I'm afraid, may not save you either. The only thing that can save you, intimate living, fellowship with Christ, for he's the true vine. No external qualification can right a man with God. Only the friendship with Jesus can do that. And since it takes a lot of soul searching, we're caught up with so many different activities, maybe perhaps more worried about our golf score, more worried about the gossip that we get, involve ourselves in. Do we ever examine ourselves when we examine our conscience? Typically, it's with sins that we have committed, right? But the big sins are also the sins of omission, with things I should have done, but I didn't. They may not see, they're not listed sort of sins, but if I'm not, bearing fruit, I'm not doing good, then what good am I? Now, there are two kinds of branches, one that bears fruit and one that does not. Simple enough, correct? And the branches that do not bear fruit are drastically pruned back so they will drain away none of the plant's strength. Those who do nothing, they get in the way, just get rid of them. You got to prune them. Otherwise, they're robbed the strength of the other healthy branches. The vine cannot produce the crop of which is capable without drastic pruning. Drastic pruning. Furthermore, the wood of the vine that has curious characteristic that it is good for nothing. It is too soft for any purpose. At certain times a year, it was laid down by law that people must bring offerings of wood to the temple for the altar fires. But the wood of the vine could not be brought in. The only thing that could be done with the wood pruned out of a vine was to make a bonfire and destroy it because it was useless. Too soft, wouldn't work. Wow. And those are the scalding words that Jesus told us. And so we really look at ourselves and, what am I doing with my life? Where's my values? Where's my time? Of course, we can have recreational pursuits, enjoy our hobbies, enjoy life. And many of you perhaps are in your retirement years. You worked hard and you deserve. It's right and fitting that you do somehow now relax and enjoy life. No one's denying that. But is that all it is? Is that all your life is? No, we must produce good fruit. When we come before the Lord, when that day comes, face to face, what do you have to offer? And bearing fruit is more than simply doing good things. Our motivation, our strength is being close to Christ. That's our prayer life. Because when we pray, we connect to Jesus, and that gives us the strength, the patience, the tolerance, right? When you don't want to do the good works. So they two go together, prayer and producing fruit. So we take these words to heart today. I take the words to heart. One good thing about as you get older, and I realize I'm getting older myself, I said, well, what am I going to do with these remaining years? Well, however, how many that may be, we do not know. I said, right now, where those chapters are, those pages of that book, I want to fill it with as much fruit, as much good works as I can. And that's what the meaning of life, purpose of life is. And hope now when you go through your book, those last pages and chapters of your life, that is not empty, that there's fruit that you have bear, that you've done good things, that you're a blessing because you know Christ. God bless you.